Outstanding.
Okay, we're recording.
Outstanding.
I hope.
Well, yeah. Well, and I really wanted to do this when this happened. I had a feeling it would be at probably an awkward and inopportune moment. My name is Willie Lawson of FightbackMedia.com, and our host is Paul Swanson of the Swanson Report and the co-founder of FightbackMedia.com, FightbackMedia.com, FightbackMedia.com. We are thrilled to be here this afternoon because you know what just happened, Paul?
Yeah, the
Trump just won re-election in 2020.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was going to say, yeah.
Trump is going to be president.
There was no reason for our going to vote for the presidential primary today, or the partisan primary for that.
It's all done.
Now, that being said, we don't want to get complacent. We don't want to get. There's still a lot of work to do, as you and I both know. But yeah, I haven't seen anybody going, oh, hey, man, what a good, strong choice.
Oh, my goodness. He could have picked somebody worse. He could have picked a llama. Or the emu from the Liberty Mutual commercials.
Yeah.
At least that would have been funny. But if you hadn't heard,
or the caveman or something, or somebody.
Yeah. If you hadn't heard, former Vice President, never to be president, Joe Biden has picked Kamala Harris as his running mate for this election season. Yes, indeedy. The same woman who called him a racist is now on the ticket. Ouch.
And who has she's got so many porters to bring baggage along with her that it's embarrassing.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Paul, when Kamala Harris first got into the national scene, the people I heard from first were actually the black progressives in California, who had been fighting her when she was the attorney general because of some of the policies that she had that, in their words, targeted a lot of black youth for minor drug offenses in a way that was unlike everybody else. So she's not a favorite in the black progressive community in California. She's not. This is not a traditional pick where a candidate picks somebody who is strong in an area,
right,
that they may be weak in. This is not that kind of pick. This is completely a virtue signal sort of idea.
It's a woke virtue signal pick.
Bingo.
And she's got, if she was strong in, as you said, an area of the country or a particular demographic, she'd have done a whole lot better and wouldn't have bailed in the Democratic primaries so early.
That's exactly right.
And she didn't fare well at all against Tulsi.
No. And Tulsi Gabbard lost her primary, by the way. But the idea, if this is a pick to excite black women, we've not seen that at all. There's been no evidence of that at all. And I'm sure some of the Politico and the Slate and some of the other websites are going, and Washington Post and New York Times are going to say that she's there to excite the black female base of the Democrat Party, but we didn't see that before. We just didn't see that. We didn't see that with Cory Booker either. So other than this, like you said, being a woke pick, it's congratulations, Mr. Trump. You just won the White House again.
Yeah, Joe. Well, yeah, Joe painted himself into a corner. Not all that big of a deal or big of a challenge for him to do when he had initially said he was going to pick a woman of color. So he was
stuck.
He was stuck on that. He'd have caught more crap from everybody if he hadn't than not. So yeah, we're going to see this. I really do think that we're going to see that ticket just go down into flames, a la, you know, Walter Mondale, a la Dukakis, you know, that sort of.
Caucus, wow.
I mean, that,
Wow.
you know, that sort of, you know, that sort of planned, as far as, you know, if history is anything to repeat itself.
It is amazing. You know what? And these things just right now is, if you are, folks, if you guys are into politics at all, if you find it sort of a sport, this is the funniest thing ever. This is absolutely amazing. This is, I don't know what the equivalent in football would be. If you were to get, I don't know, if you
It's,
had a
oh, you know
football,
what? It's the what was the Dolphins kicker? You know,
if,
extra
yes,
or field goal, extra point.
if,
Gary
it's
Yepremian.
like saying Gary, you premium in to be quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, some of y'all have to look that up on YouTube. It is the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yes, like get Gary Premium in to be quarterback.
Right.
And then being excited about it. See, and this is the part where I think what people who don't watch politics enough, it is hard to see that political party hypocrisy, and Republicans are as bad with it as anybody, but you just had this really contentious, awful, Joe Biden's a racist sort of thing go on just a few short months ago.
Yep.
And now they're hugging it out on the platform. It's Biden and Harris. And as Matt Walsh says, it's sniff and blow. That was epic. Yeah. That was so savage.
Yeah. I'm sure all the ad people and everybody in the Trump campaign were just, you know, they're having a party right now, because you know, this ad, you know, the ads that are going to be run simply write themselves.
They do, and so do all the jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Every joke writes itself.
Yeah.
Now, like Paul was saying before, y'all, yeah, this should be a pretty easy win, but you still have to play the game to win.
That's right.
And if you choose to stay on the sideline, even the worst team can upset you. As Michigan about Appalachian State.
Yeah, Vince Lombardi said, you know, any given Sunday.
Yep. Yeah. You ask Michigan about Appalachian State and the last time they were in the big house, how that worked out. Yeah. So you have to make sure that, like Paul said, got to stay on track. We got to keep working all the things that we've been doing, all the knocking on doors, all the phone calls you guys been making, all that stuff. You got to keep doing. This is, and I love the football analogies because they work so well for me. This is Bobby Bowden and Bobby Bowden's day when he got asked, why did you score 77 points on a team that you had a 70-point lead? And the answer was, because I couldn't score 84 points. Keep scoring until the clock goes to 0-0.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep playing. Never stop playing.
Exactly. The fact that the current ticket, Democratic ticket as it stands, is going to have zero coattails. So, you know,
they're bringing nobody with them.
No, I mean, they got zero coattails. So as you and I look at, you know, our local political races, you know, downstream from everybody, there's, you know, that this national ticket that the Democrats have is not going to, you know, enable, I guess, any of the statewide or, you know, local tickets, because they're going to go, I think the people are going to look at it and go, hey, you know, if this is the best the national party can do, where they're in deep doo-doo.
And the cool thing about that, though, Paul, is this, that it really opens up seats down the ticket for a lot of other races. It actually, this decision makes a lot of those other races a lot closer,
Yes.
or a lot more attainable,
Yes.
because there isn't just the coattails effect that happens sometimes.
Yeah, there's
so I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, there's not going to be that in we went and primary day here in Wisconsin, so we went and voted even before all of this silliness and nonsense was known. So, but yeah,
strangely enough, I early voted yesterday, but because I don't think anybody else is on the ballot, there was no presidential candidates on the ballot for us. So
yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, there weren't for us either. It was all state and local, local county type things.
So how bad can this be moving forward for the Democrat Party? How bad can this be? Just a few years ago, it seemed like if the Republicans lost another national election, if somehow Trump loses to Hillary Clinton in 2016, the thought was that the Republican Party could be irrelevant for into the near future. It doesn't seem like this part. This pact with Biden and Harris ought to do very well. And if they don't do well, what do you see for the Democrat Party looking forward, at least for the next 8 or 12 years, or next 2 or 3 election cycles?
Well, it's the same thing, I think, for the Republicans as well. Who's on the backbench?
Who's on deck?
Who's on deck? Exactly. Who's on deck? Who's on the bench? Who can they go to pull, to turn to as somebody who's exciting, who's got the skills and everything to be able to really enroll people in their cause. And to be quite honest with you, I don't see that on either side at the moment.
I don't see right. I have some people who I wish were on deck, but I don't think that they meet. I don't think they meet that criteria. I think the bar, frankly, I think that Trump is one of those once in a lifetime candidates with that level of energy. And there isn't anybody on the bench with that level of energy.
Oh.
That level of get things done. I don't care what they say about me. I'm not interested in the politics. And a person who can build the kind of base that Trump has been able to build in a number of non-traditionally Republican demographics.
Correct.
And I think that's really been the key. That he has built a partnership in all these really non-traditional Republican demographics that I don't really see anybody else. I didn't see it beforehand, and I don't see anybody else doing it either. Well, that's not true. I think Reagan probably did it to a degree, but not like Trump's done it for sure. So
no, Reagan would have been the only one in our political lifetime who really, showed the same genre of political, lack of political style, I guess, if you will.
Yes, really going against all of what I call the consultant class.
Yeah.
Just going against the grain. And because I remember in 2016 when after it was pretty sure that he was going to win the nomination, everybody thought that he was going to calm down a little bit, move a little bit more to the center, back off the rhetoric, and he did for like 3 days. And then he went, "The hell with this," and then went full bore again, and the excitement was back on again.
Right.
And the dude has never let up. He's just never let up. And I don't think the other side can bring that. I don't think they can bring that kind of energy. And this is probably not fair. I'm going to say this.
Oh, go ahead.
For all our Facebook friends, this is probably not fair. Unfortunately, when a woman brings that level of energy, I don't think it's accepted by people who are in America the same. And that may not be fair. That may be sexist. That may be. But it's a reality. She can't bring that level of energy in the same way that Trump can, because it ends up being, bitchy. and shrewish, because Hillary tried it, and we saw that it just wasn't. It just didn't hit the same. It didn't hit the same even with her with the Democrat base.
No.
So it's going to be interesting.
Well, and it's almost 4 o'clock here Central. It's almost 5 o'clock there on the East Coast. How soon before we hear from Hillary or Hillary's people?
I don't know, but I think that Kamala needs to get fitted for her flak jacket for sure. And she shouldn't take any long trips, no car trips, and don't eat any food that she didn't prepare.
That's right. No private planes, no flights, no chartered flights.
No.
None of that.
No. So yeah. I don't know if Hillary was really thinking that somehow Joe would grab her and go, "Come on, Hill." Maybe when she was dreaming, maybe when she was knitting or I don't know, doing yoga or baking cookies or something, she had this thought that the phone would ring and the Biden campaign would call her and ask her to come along to help. But it didn't happen. Well, because Joe already said he's going to pick a woman of color.
Yep.
And then as soon as Tulsi Gabbard and the rest of them backed away, and Amy Klobuchar said, well, okay, I'm a white girl. Well, never mind. He was stuck with Stacey Abrams, Susan Rice, Kamala Harris, and Val Demings of Florida.
Yeah, you're Florida. Yeah.
And that's it. I think there would be a lot less celebrating in the Trump campaign had he picked maybe someone like Val Demings. Val Demings is someone that not a lot of people know. And so they can sort of mold that. But Kamala Harris, everybody knows Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
She's got the name recognition, but so did Charles Manson.
And we're going to find out way more than we ever needed or wanted to know about her as well in the next couple of months.
That is going to be ugly in all sorts of the ugliest ways, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So what?
Anyway.
So do we want to tell people that maybe we'll take a second turn at this, maybe in 6 hours or so?
Yeah, we'll be back. I've got to go in there and do the work and do some work, but if we can see how the news media and all the pundits and Politico and all those other people react to the news, they should be, some of them will be breathless about it. The MSNBCers will be breathless about it. And sort of see how it plays out with the American public in the first 6 hours. And then we'll come back a little later, probably sometime after the East Coast Evening News, and give it another shot.
Yep.
Oh, and my wife just texted me, so Kamala Harris is it. So we'll see how this goes.
That's right.
All right, man.
This will be up on Facebook here shortly. And
outstanding.
Look for it in the usual suspect places.
And once you put it up in on the Fight Back Media page, I'll share it to my page because I'll see it, and we'll get it out to, like Paul just said, all the usual places. Folks, thanks so much for dropping by, and we will see you this evening. A little after the East Coast Evening News.
There you go.
Thank you
Thanks,
again,
everybody.
Paul.
All right.
Appreciate
Talk to y'all later.
Bye now.
All right. Bye.